This week on Hold All Tickets, we've got rid of Alex and sent him off to Europe. Lambie's down with the man flu, so I've brought in the big guns, James the Guru Molony, to give us the hot tips this week.
Hopefully we've got a couple. I think there's one at big odds that could run well in the Doomben Cup, and I'm pretty keen on one in race 2 at Randwick.
Well, he's here for the tips. I'm here for my good looks. Hopefully you get a bit out of this week's show, and we'll see you soon. All right, welcome back to another week of Punters Hold All Tickets. I am here this week with the man, James the Guru Molony, as better known. How are you?
Thanks. Yeah, good. Thanks for having me this week.
Yeah, well, it's just you and I, mate. Lambie's gone down sick. Alex is on his European adventure. So what do they do when you lose those two? You call up the A-team.
Well, it could be the sign of things to come. We may just tip the card and those guys might have to find another gig, but we'll see.
Mate, I've seen your ROI on your tips for the last few weeks on RaceNet. You are flying. I'm doing pretty well, so it could be the best session we've given on the tips.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't want to crow too early, but I feel really confident we'll go close to tipping the card.
All right, well, let's get into it. We are brought to you by BoomBet. Great fixed odds, more value, and more boom moments. I've got to tell you, Chris has sent me some really good stuff through this week from BoomBet, so I'm looking forward to cracking into that. But before we do that, we were going to do self-trumpeters for the week. We talked about it, and then we realised it just wouldn't feel right doing it without Lambie. So Lambie's going to do this and send it out on the weekend. It's going to be a separate social post. So for those that want to see self-trumpeters of the week, make sure you're looking at our socials, which you can find at Punters on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And what we'll do now is crack into it from the review last week. And I can tell you, it's going to be a quick review. The boys didn't do that well.
Righto, well, hopefully we can improve this week.
So when we crack through it, we had some results from Alex at Randwick. He went his best bet, which was in race 4, O Diamond Lil, actually got up at 355, so he started the day well. And then it went a little pear-shaped from there, okay, as it does with Alex. So race 7, he was going with number 6, Soft Love, at 385, nothing. Race 9, number 1, Vibrant Sun, at $15.40. Would have been great if that one had got up, nothing. Now, Lambie started badly with his tips, but started to come good for the end. And I must admit, I'll give him this one. He actually got me out of trouble in the last, so at Flemington. So his best bet was the one in the last, Liberami at $3.
It was a good win, wasn't it? It stormed home.
Stormed home.
2 in a row now.
Yep. Are you up and about on it?
I backed it on Saturday in the last, but it got short enough late.
You haven't called it in your black book, have you?
No. I think, if you're calling things that have coming off big wins at odds on in your black book, I think you're struggling a little bit.
Well, he did get us out of a little bit of trouble. His early one was race 2, number 10, Dancing on My Own, paying $6. Nothing. Might still be running. And his best value was race 3, number 10, Cuisine, which was paying $9. And in his own words in a text message, yuck. And we can all attest to that after that run. I think it was stone motherless last. So not one of his best ones. All right. As I mentioned, Chris and the team at BoomBet have sent through some interesting insights for this weekend's racing at Doomben as well.
Couple of promos.
The big promo for the weekend is that there's a boom odds market available on Antino to win the Doomben Cup. Okay. Now we'll crack into the Doomben Cup because I'm not 100% behind that one, but you can base on what's recent form is that Antino's a pretty good bet. So go there, check it out at BoomBet, find out what the boom odds market is for Antino in the Doomben Cup, and do yourself a favour, jump on. Okay? So some insights he's given us. So race 6, there's been plenty of early support for Queen of Dragons. At around $29.50 was the quote, which was snapped up pretty early. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but $29.50, I wouldn't mind having a little piece of that if that's going to come to fruition.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to firm up a little bit after those that early scalp.
Yep. And then race 7, there's been plenty of early market support on another roughie, Pleasure Artist at $53 when the markets went up. I like Benegal in that race, and they've looked at it as well, and Benegal's their one out in that race as well. So that's going to go in as favourite by the looks of it. Race 8, majority of the early money in the Cup has gone for Faulkner Park. Don't give your tip away, but I'm betting it's not Faulkner Park.
It's not Faulkner Park. No, I've been burnt too many times by him, so I've left him out of my numbers.
Yep. So Faulkner Park at the moment is holding steady at about $8.10. They anticipate that the market's going to drift a little bit. Their favourite as their boom bet special is at the Antino. And they're keeping Pride of Jenny pretty safe, which I think everyone would be this weekend. Pride of Jenny might be back in a little bit of form, and we'll talk that one through in a minute or so. And outside of that, all the other runners, they're giving some fairly lengthy odds on. All right. Have you got any of those three in yours?
I don't know. I've got Antino. Yeah, I've got Antino on top.
Yep.
I thought the run last start over 1,800 metres on a deteriorating heavy track at the Gold Coast was really impressive considering the early speed they went at, and then just put a gap in his rivals late. I'm suggesting in the race they're probably going to go at a genuine early speed here with Pride of Jenny, Lindemann, and the likes going quick early. I've got Antino on top, and there's a big roughie that I'm having an each way bet on as well.
Well, sit tight on that one because I think the boys at Boombet, when they hear this, might be shaking their boots a little bit because if you're backing Antino with your form at the moment, that Boom odds market may be a little bit shaky for them. So let's see how that one goes. And in race 9, there's been a lot of early money for Willado and War Machine. So I think presenting a bit of value in those markets too for those two. And if those two get up, the quaddie will look pretty good at the end of the day.
I would have liked a piece of a Flemington quaddie on Saturday. I don't know if you saw that, but it was.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah. Anyway,
would it be sad to say that our punters club got 3 out of 4?
Oh, it's rough. Hope you didn't miss the last leg.
It was a bit of a rough day. We had 3 out of 4 in 3 different quaddies.
Oh,
it was a tough day for us. So. All right, so thank you, Boombet. And as we always say, gamble responsibly. But go check out Boombet for their offers, particularly around Antino for the Doomben Cup. Great odds. Get over there. Great app as well. So make sure you go and check out our friends at Boombet. Okay, so let's crack into it with our tips. That's what everyone's here for. At the end of the day, that's what they want. They want good tips. Now, that's why we've called you into the show. So don't let people down. You saw what the boys tipped last week. A little bit shaky. All right, we need to get the punters back up, fill their pockets a bit. Okay,
we'll do our best.
Obviously, responsibly. We're all about gambling responsibly, but people want the tips.
Okay.
So let's first one, Doomben Cup. What a great race. I'm looking at this field and I'm actually going, I think it's a little bit harder to tip than what most people are giving it with Pride of Jenny and a few others in there. So I'm interested to hear where you want to go in this race, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Well, from a Matt perspective, I'm expecting Pride of Jenny to do what she normally does, just go and bowl along. She set a cracking early speed last start over a mile at Caulfield, and obviously she was too strong late holding her rivals out. This is harder, and with a little bit of early race pressure and up to the 2,000 metres, I'm going to take a set against her on Saturday. Antino is the obvious one coming out of that Hollandaise win. I've got Antino on top just because I'm expecting, well, the way he won the race on that heavy 9 track at the Gold Coast, I'm expecting him to go to another level up to 2,000, third up. And then, I'll be backing him. And then I'll be having an each way bet on a runner at massive odds on Saturday. And that's
in Doomben Cup?
In the Doomben Cup.
So you're going a little each way roughie here after backing Antino in.
Yeah. I'm going to back Klondike I have backed Klondike at 100 to 1 at each way. You're getting $20 for the place. First up in Australia, it was a pretty poor run. Stays at the 2,000 metres, but overseas form is not bad in Group 3 company over 2,000 metres. There was a little bit of money for this runner first up. Didn't produce, looked like he needed the run. Obviously, he's going to need a lot to go his way. He draws inside, so, probably needs luck. But I just think it's, a silly price. So a small play each way, but I'm with Antino in the Cup.
All right. Hunters, you heard it here first. 100 to 1 shot, and he's backed it each way. $20 for the place. Get on that. That could be a nice little fill-up.
Yeah, well, you can only pray.
Well, after that, I'm praying with you. So there's been a little bit of money around a few other things here as well. So Lambie's actually gone with Fawkner Park and gone it each way as well. I don't mind that. I think Fawkner Park's going to go pretty well. Let's put a little bit of time into Pride of Jenny, though. You've said pretty amazing last couple of runs. It has come back after it didn't retire, semi-retired, maybe retired, and has shown a little bit of form. Do we think that Pride of Jenny's ever going to get back to that form?
She gets in, she'll appreciate the weight for age here. So she drops a fair bit of weight back to weight for age. In terms of get back to her form where she was previously, I think looking at a form over 1,600 metres, I think her best form's over 1,600 metres. Sustaining that strong early gallop. Now some will say, all right, well, what about what happened in the Queen Elizabeth when she was too good there and led the whole way? All right, yeah, well that's a point taken. So you can probably debate it for a long period of time. But if she does get bowling, she draws barrier 1 on Saturday. If she just gets bowling along and they leave her alone in front, she's going to be awfully hard to catch. But I'm just willing to say that she's going to get a little bit of pressure on Saturday up to the 2,000 metres. And the way Antino won, I'm willing to be with Antino.
Okay. So still confident on Antino. Now, the one thing we haven't mentioned, and our friends at Racing Queensland have done a terrific job from January to now, the weather. The weather in Queensland, the sunny state, the best weather in the country, has been absolutely terrible.
Yeah, well, it's been terrible. And I mean, currently Randwick's rated a heavy 9, and there's supposed to be, upwards of 40 mils from Thursday, Friday going to Randwick. So, whilst it's been pretty bad in Queensland, I'm suggesting it's going to be pretty wet on Saturday in Sydney also.
Yeah, well, at the moment we're looking at a soft 6, soft 7 for Doomben, which isn't too bad given where it's been. The weather's going to be 24 degrees and perfect. So if you're a punter based in Queensland, get out in force, go down to Doomben Cup, and it'll be a great day because I think most people up there have had about 2 or 3 months of crappy weather. So this is their time to get out and enjoy it. Okay, so you've gone Antino, and then thrown us $100 shot with a $20 for the place.
Just each way. Don't have your last on it.
So I've gone Kovalica, a little bit out there as well, right?
Everyone back too.
And it's been backed, and I like the J-Mac Waller combination. I'm a big fan of that. Its last couple of runs have been somewhat impressive. The third place in the last was not too bad, but what I'm really looking for here is I don't mind its form over the distance and on the track and in the weather. So on the conditions as well. So what are you thinking about that one?
Oh yeah, there's no reason why Kovalica can't run well. Some would say that he's sort of allergic to winning. That's probably the only problem
Token
that I have.
bridesmaid.
Yeah, I mean, well, at times not even a bridesmaid, but doesn't love to win Kovalica, which is concerning. Obviously, the booking of McDonald is a positive, but meets Antino at similar conditions, and Antino put a real gap in him last start in the Hollandaise. So, look, I can definitely make a case at the sort of $15 mark, but I'd be happy to just decide with Antino. Okay,
so where we've landed, we've got you taking Antino. And for everyone's going to take Antino, get to Boombet. Make sure you bet with them at Boombet. I'm going with Kovalica. Lammy's going with Faulkner Park. And you've thrown us a very nice one with Klondike at $111. Okay. So wrap that up into a first 4.
Give strength.
Give strength. My God, we could be paying it. If we're not here next week, it's because this first 4 gets up. All right. So let's have another look at what else is happening at Doomben. I've got the couple of tips here for everyone as well. So at Doomben, my best actually comes up early. Race 2, number 5, the Inflictor. Enjoys the conditions, enjoys the distance. I think it's going to be a hell of a hard horse to beat going down that straight as well. So I've taken that out of barrier 1 as well. So that's currently paying $5.50. I'm expecting that to get shortened up a fair bit. So my best bet, race 2, number 5, the Inflictor. Next best is race 9, number 5, Rise at Dawn, currently paying $7.50. Good horse. Has come up from Victoria, seems to be travelling a little bit now, getting better in the run as well. Looks like it could be threatening. The only question I have on this one is the barrier at 13.
Yeah, I think it will have the early speed to cross and at least land positively. I think I Know a Star in that race is probably the one that you're going to have to hold out. But yeah, generally shows fast early speed. So should have the early speed to settle within the first 4, I would have thought.
Yep.
There's plenty of speed in that race.
There is. And I don't mind the Hayes boys at the moment. I think they've got a couple in there that might just be peaking at the right time.
Scared of Coleman at all?
A little bit, yes.
Second up?
Yeah, second up is always a
Waller
good
McDonald,
one.
you like that combo?
I do. I did look at it. I've been Rise of Dawn for the last 12 months though, so
got to
stuck with it.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
But it's not the first time I've stuck with something that's been rolled. So had a bit of that last weekend as well. But best value, race 6, number 3, Roots. Coming back, had a good trial, so I liked that. But at $31, I think this is pretty overs. So you're talking about your 100-to-1 shot in the Doomben Cup. I'm taking $31 on Roots, which is a proven horse, class horse. I don't think too much is going to run it down if it can find its best form.
Give strength.
So they're my tips at Doomben. You've got Randwick, as you said, heavy 10. How many races in Sydney have been cancelled this last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's incredible this time of year, isn't it? It's like that post-autumn sort of torrential rain they have. I remember last year they had something similar as well, a little bit earlier though. But they don't mind a big shower up there. I think
who would have thought though that the best weather in the country and the best tracks at this time of year are all based in Melbourne. Melbourne's had the best 5 months of weather. It's been sunny. It's going to be sunny this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Probably good tracks than what we're getting. And you go up to Sydney getting a heavy 10, go up to Doomben getting a soft 6. Go Melbourne. We love Melbourne.
Yeah, it's been unreal the last few months now. It's fantastic.
So give us your tips at Randwick.
It's so with an asterisk next to this, depending on how much rain we have, but I've sided with those runners that have at least shown something on a heavy track. Race 2, number 8, First Mission. I thought his first up run at Canterbury in weaker company over 1,200 metres was really good. He sustained sort of a 3-wide run about 350 metres out from the finish, and they went at a fast early speed. I think he's got a bit of progression to come, and that was on a heavy track last start, so he's proven on the heavy. Probably the only slight query I've got is where he gets to from the wide gate. Don't know if he'll lead, but he looks to have plenty of upside. So I've gone with race 2, number 8, First Mission in as my best bet on the day.
I like it.
Next best is She's Unusual in the last race on the program. The really gallant performance first up at Kensington in similar company over 1,400 metres. Stays at the 1,400 metres. Settled last in that run, and then was really strong late off a wide gallop, clocking the fastest last 400 and 200 metre splits in the meeting, suggesting got a bit of upside, and 4 starts for 2 wins and 2 seconds on a heavy track, so well and truly proven in under heavy conditions. And yeah, I think obviously going to need a bit of luck at some point in the race getting back, but I think really going to be savaging the line late. And then my value bet on the card is I'm Adonis in race 1, race 1, number 9.
Purely named after me. Good to find.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yet to be seen, but we'll take your word for it. I thought he was really unlucky on debut at Caulfield for first up last start over 1,100 metres. You go back and look at his barrier trial on the 2nd of May over 800 metres at Flemington. Really responded when asked for an effort late. And then went into that first up run at Caulfield and just got no luck, was sluggish away before doing plenty wrong, sort of got lost on the bend, getting too far back off a slow early speed. Gets the winkers applied here, which should straighten him out a little bit. And like $31, I can definitely make a case from I'm Adonis at an each way quote.
Yep. Okay, so you've gone well against the $2.70 favourite, Argerwood.
Yeah, it was a good win last start, but I think it's going to get a little bit more pressure here. Just sort of was let to go and bowl along last start, and yeah, sort of ran away with it in the end. But I think going to cop a little bit of pressure here. You can make a case for a few of them here, and I just don't think it's as clear cut as the market has it.
Yep. Well, that's fair enough, and that's why you're the pro punter and I'm not. So I'll be backing you in all the way. Now, Lamby, as he's lying on his deathbed with the flu, and he has still sent in his tips, okay? Got 1 of 3 last week, so that's a pass mark. This week...
It's a good win, though, that O'Diamond Lil. Big firmer late, so I hope he got the early quote.
This week, he's gone for Sandown-Hillside. He's got his best bets in there. I don't mind a couple of these, to be honest. So most weeks I go, Lamby, where are you going with these? But I don't mind. So his best bet comes up in race 1, number 2, Saluted. I'm not sure why he's backed that outside of probably some half-decent form coming in. His next best is race 2, number 6, Harry Got Styles. Now, I've watched this horse its last couple of runs. It has something. It has a turn of foot that I think if it can actually find some clear run, could actually go pretty well. So I like Harry Got Styles. And his best value is a glutton for punishment, but he's going back to it. Race 8, number 1, Oscar's Fortune.
Back to the well.
If you haven't lost money on Oscar's Fortune, you haven't punted hard enough, right? I think we've all been there. We've all backed this thing. You hope to God that it finds some form because it doesn't seem to find it pretty much any other time. So where are you on Oscar's Fortune on this one?
Yeah, what is it? So it's benchmark 100, 1,400 metres, basically a rinse and repeat from Caulfield last start. That was that War Machine race. Look, it's 3 kilo claims probably only going to help. I couldn't find it, but good luck to Lamby.
We would never go against Lamby because Lamby knows best, but he has dropped one that he backs a lot and to go for this. So he's gone Oscar's Fortune, but LEU he's backed a few times, and that's going in at favourite, $3.50, and he's gone against it. So he's clearly found something on Oscar's Fortune that he likes, so we'll
Might
back
be
him
the
in.
gate. I think LEU's going to, I don't know, there's another race with plenty of speed in that race. I can see Magnus Spin leading with LEU potentially getting caught wide. Maybe that's his thought there.
And a bit similar to what you were talking about before, I still like a bit of an outsider in this one. Munamek at $41 feels a little bit over for me. But I'll stick with what Lamby's going with Oscar's Fortune. All right, Guru, I think we've done pretty well. 2 men down. We've got this far through the show. We've given people some good tips, but there has been a little bit of questioning and controversy over the last week. All right, so let's crack into yays or nays. This is your first time doing yays and nays, isn't it?
I've done a couple, but whether they've been successful or not, we're yet to see.
Well, there's no right and wrong in this world.
Perfect.
This is your opinion. It's time for you to have your
my
opinion.
type of segment.
Yep. So you can give your opinion, and I think for some of the comments we're getting back from the audience, we're starting to get some challenging little questions in here. And the first one certainly takes that shape. So they, being the media, are talking spring cups with Sir Delius. That is premature after beating Manzois and Co in Group 3, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's European form's pretty sharp. Particularly, it's Group 1 form over 2,000 metres and beyond. They get premature at this type of year. I cast my mind back to White Marlin a couple of years ago. I believe it was under the same stable. Definitely, it looks a smart galloper, but there's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and spring. So I'll probably say it's a little bit premature, but also he's beaten better gallopers than Manzois overseas. The overseas form actually looks pretty good.
I agree, and I'm a yay on this one. I think the overseas form is good. One good run in Australia does not make you as a horse. And we have probably seen too much, and this will lead into something we're talking about later on too, probably seen too much hype around horses after one win. Probably give it a little bit of form, and let's get through the next 3 or 4 races and see where it lands. It was a great run. No one can ever take that away. I backed it, so I was pretty happy. That'll get me in the self-trumpeters next week with Lamby. But I can't say that I think they've gone a bit early on this one.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of time to go, and where it goes to in the spring as well, particularly, they'll probably aim for I would have thought Caulfield Cup. But yeah, we'll see how we go. There's a long way to go. Yep.
Now, this one has been the controversy of the week. The fixed odds not going up until the morning of the race isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I think this sort of leads you down a deeper rabbit hole than just this, I think.
Certainly does.
I would say nay. I think it is a bad thing, but I think further to this, I think that the minimum bet should be changed. Shouldn't be just the day of. I think you need a minimum bet to say that when the odds come out, you should be able to actually have a decent bet. But whether they come out the morning of, whether they come out earlier, obviously you still probably should have your price and what you're willing to take and what you believe is too short, and then probably base your own opinion around that. So in short, I'm not really phased.
Yep. I don't want to unpick this at the thread too much because this goes everywhere when you start going deep into it. But I kind of agree with you on this one. If ideally you'd be having odds up lunchtime the day before, ideally, so that people can have a bit of a run into it. But there are so many things to unpack in this that it's such a deep question. So on the surface level, let's just go nay.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Nay.
Yep. Otherwise, it's a 45-minute show that we've got to deal with. So last but not least, and we talked about it before, outside of Pride of Jenny, Australia racing is sadly lacking in headline horses.
I'll say nay. I think there's plenty of headline horses. I mean, it is, we're entering the winter months. Most of the headline horses are having a spell now, maybe apart from Pride of Jenny. But I think we're lacking a punter's horse at the moment. Mm-hmm. So if you think back to some good punter's horses over the last couple of years, I think about Osborne Bulls, I think about Tom Melbourne, just a horse with a bit of that cult punt following, you know what I mean? I think we're lacking that, and we're yet to see that. You could argue Chautauqua was a punter's horse. So maybe we're lacking a horse with that sort of has that stereotype of being, that thing to get you out in the last, something like that,
Yep.
rather than having, an absolute headline champion horse at the moment. That's my opinion.
Yep. I'm going yay on this one. I think we are lacking a headline horse. I think where we're actually at the moment, Pride of Jenny was great, but we desperate need of a Winx, Black Caviar, something that's just going to get the industry as a whole kind of moving in the right direction again. The one thing I will say, it's a bit sad that we're not seeing all the horses go head-to-head in all the main races. It's just the way they're setting it at the moment. You got one good horse over here and running in Melbourne, another one running in Sydney, when you'd love to see them run.
Yeah.
So that's probably the part that's lacking for me, is just we're not getting all the best horses in the same race.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the world horse rankings that came out this week, we got the Cox Plate winner. She's number 3 in the world, so I thought that was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty big effort from Waller and the team to get her there.
Yeah, and we've got plenty that could be big horses, but I'm just not sure we're quite there yet. Pride of Jenny, if it comes back this weekend, puts her back on the map, and we don't have to worry about it.
Well, you never know.
All right, that's it from us. Hopefully we did a good enough job without Lamby and Alex this week. Don't be too mean to us in the comments. We do our best here. We filled in at very late notice. Lamby, hope you're back next week and get off the man flu. We know it's the worst thing in the world, but hopefully you're back next week. Thanks for filling in.
No worries at all. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Where are you off to this afternoon?
Off to Ballarat.
Yep.
Yeah.
You going out to the races on the weekend?
I'll be there. Yep, I'll be at Sandown on Saturday. Yeah, won't be able to get up to the wet Sydney, but I'll be in Sandown on Saturday. Yeah,
very nice. And you're going to be joining us next week and the week after as well.
I believe so. Yeah, looking forward to it. So hopefully we can back a couple this weekend and get invited back.
Yeah, if you go 3 from 3, you'll be you might be red carpet for you next week.
I'll tell you what, if Klondike lobs, I won't be coming for a month.
Yeah, I agree with that. We might be finding more people for show next week. As always, thank you to BoomBet. Great fixed odds, more value, and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. We'll catch you all next week. Happy punting.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.